let's welcome in, shall we? Oh, Jules. Julian.
Oh, it's all gone pear-shaped, isn't it?
It's all going wrong, Jules.
Champions League coming up. Oh, my God.
Goodness.
That's it then. Lionel Messi won't win the Ballon d'Or now that he can't win the Coupe de France, Jules. Done.
I don't know if he will or not. The performance tonight from Messi and from the PSG team, although they had strongest moment towards the end, especially when Marseille could not run as much as they did before and could not put as much intensity as they did before. PSG were on top, could not capitalize on that. Messi was not very good in the game like the rest of his team. It's a reflection of what we've seen since the restart, really. There's no surprises in the fact that Marseille played with a lot of intensity and PSG just had no collective cohesion, if you want. It was just, let's give the ball to Neymar, let's give the ball to Messi and see if they can work something out, but they could not. And today the best team won, and I think it's really worrying for the rest of the season for PSG.
How do you fix it, Jules?
The problem, Dan, is there's no quick fix. It's too late now. I mean, I think Galtier had enough time to put in place a bit of patterns of play, to put in place that cohesion that I've just mentioned that is not there. But now it's too late. They will have games every 3 days. They go to Monaco on Saturday. Then they host Bayern on Tuesday. There's no time. I mean, maybe it should start by not playing players who are useless. I think that would help massively. Like Fabian Ruiz has been dreadful for weeks now for games. And maybe play some of the kids who are very good, for example, coming through. Maybe change the formation, change the system, do something, because right now there's no direction from what Galtier is trying to do. I mean, we don't even know what he's trying to do. And the problem is, you win against Toulouse in the league because Messi and Hakimi score 2 great goals and then you get a bit lucky. But tonight, against a really good team that played really well, that had a proper identity, then you struggle for most of the game. You could not even beat their press. It was that bad. They could not play from the back. They kept losing the ball, as we saw on the highlights. And again, it's not good enough. And Monaco will do the same on Saturday, and Bayern will do the same on Tuesday, maybe even better than Marseille did tonight. So I cannot see how things could be different in the next 2 games.
Jules, I'm going to bring out some French here because I feel a little deja vu listening to you. You say, like, the manager doesn't know what he's doing. I felt we heard that when Pochettino was in charge, Emery as well. It seems to be a massive problem that whoever they appoint, you feel they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, and as we said, I think last week or the week before, maybe it's just impossible to coach this team. Maybe when you've got Neymar, Messi in your team, with no Mbappe especially, so they played with no strikers. No striker, really, no proper centre forward tonight. It makes things more difficult when clearly some players don't really want to defend or maybe don't make the effort to defend. When Sergio Ramos scored today, we saw that on the corner, but for most of the game, he's too slow now. He lacks awareness, he lacks sharpness, and he's more of a burden for his team at times than anything else. And yet you keep playing him. I think the way this squad has been built, it's not just the manager, but the way the squad has been built, the unbalance in it. And you're right, it's issues that have been there before. When you keep going for the bling-bling, then at some point, it backfires. And I feel that despite all the talent that this squad has right now, and they're still capable of great things, of course, on certain games or for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm sure they are. They can beat Bayern and they can beat Monaco in the next 2 games. But overall, in terms of consistency and over the whole length of the season, I don't think it's good enough from the squad, from the players, and from the manager and from the team around him too. Jules, normally you're a little bit happy, a bit alive. God, you're dragging everyone down. Goodness. You're asking me a question, I answer. No, I know.
My God, I was in a good mood up until then.
I know, we're quite
smiling
happy.
Away.
I know. God, suck the life out of the room, Jules. Goodness.
I think, the thing is Galtier was going to be the guy that was going to come in with a really firm approach, good tactician, decent CV, and he was going to be the guy to come in and sort these superstars out and give them this identity. But as the seasons wore on, it just looks like he's losing control and he's sort of guessing at what the best way is to play them. When they're all fit, how do you get the best out of this front 3? Jules is even, I think it was Jules who mentioned before, maybe leaving one of them out would be a better idea and fixing it from there. But then you've got a management issue around big egos. But you used to look at one or two of the PSG teams and think, oh, how could they manage them on paper? That's an unbelievable side. I mean, if you could get them to play and gel, that would be unstoppable. You actually look at this side at the moment on paper and it doesn't even look like a great side. No. It's not playing like one and it doesn't look like a great side, as Joe's mentioned. Ramos, he's never learned. He's slower than he's ever been. He's still giving away daft penalties, daft free kicks, making daft decisions back there. And when you've got, you know, players that don't want to defend from the front and you've got those problems at the back, it only ends up one way.
The one saving grace, though, is as we get ready for the Champions League, how many in European football in the Champions League can boast that they're coming into this round of competition looking at their best? Other than Napoli, probably nobody else.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.